Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. Welcome, my name is Anna. If you're new here, I do makeup reviews, makeup tutorials, skincare, anything beauty related, I got you covered. Today's video was a request. I'm going to be comparing two foundations. Today I'm going to be talking about the L'Oreal Skin Paradise, and we're going to be putting it up against the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. These are two very beautiful foundations from the drugstore. Wet n Wild's about $5, $6. The L'Oreal, I want to say it's somewhere around $10. So it's like twice the amount. For the Wet n Wild, you're just under a fluid ounce. It's 0.91. And for the L'Oreal, you're at a fluid ounce. So there's a difference somewhat in size. Now, both are going to be dewy. I apologize. The cat's trying to leave the room and he's making all the noise. Zoomy, hey! What are you doing? Stop. Sorry. So these are both very dewy foundations, very pretty. I would say they're not full coverage. They're maybe just about medium coverage, but overall very beautiful. So we're going to compare one on one side, one on the other side. The one thing that I will say is that the Wet n Wild looks like it's going to be a little light on me, so I'm probably going to look a little bit funny because this one's a little bit darker. And yeah, so one side of my face may look a little darker than the other, so we're kind of going off of like finish. So let me swatch these for you on the back of my hand so you have an idea of what they look like. So if you see, you can tell just by looking at my hand. This is the L'Oreal one. It has more yellow in it. The Wet n Wild is, I would say, it's got some kind of pink in it. It's slightly neutral, but it definitely has more pink in it. And you can see that it's significantly lighter than the other one. Like if I pull away and you see with the light on it, this one kind of pops out a little bit more. As far as their consistency goes, the Wet n Wild does feel a little more moisturizing. The L'Oreal is a little more lightweight in texture. Now, as far as scents go, the L'Oreal one does have sort of like a rosy scent, like rose water kind of, which I don't mind. I personally, I love like rose oil. That's one of my favorite scents. So let's go into application. Now, I like to apply these with my fingers. You can use a brush. I think today I'm going to try using the e.l.f. stippling brush. I know you can get this online. I think I found it once at like a Target, but it's a good brush, recommend it. And I also have the e.l.f. small stippling brush. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to put the Wet n Wild on this side and we're going to do L'Oreal on this side. My skin is already prepped and that's just like a little bit of oil and the Jones Road Miracle Cream. So, all right, let's start. Let's see. I'm going to put a little bit of the Wet n Wild on the back of my hand. I don't know about you guys, but I'm in that like weird stage of no longer too much fading into my winter color, but I'm not ready for my spring, summer color yet either. So I'm like in that awkward stage. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it. Let's see with the brush. Just picking that up. Okay, actually this color is still working for me. I was afraid it wasn't going to. It's not like, it's not a medium coverage. It's not a full coverage. I would say it's a light coverage. I know some people say that it's got more coverage than, you know, they expected, but it's not full coverage. It's definitely not full coverage. Now you can layer it a little bit to get more coverage. This foundation is really, really, really beautiful. Like, it just sits on the skin nice. If you have dry skin, if you have, you know, a little more mature skin, or like textured skin, or even, you know, fine lines. I have fine lines. It doesn't emphasize it at all. It just makes your skin look so good. Like, I have no complaints about this foundation. The only complaints I have is the color range. I wish they had more shades with like a golden undertone. They have a couple of shades that are too pink. Too pink for my liking. So this is how it sits. But you see, like, my skin looks nice. It looks hydrated, which I do love. I'm going to take a little bit more and just kind of go over my cheek. I'm a little bit red there. So yeah, I would say it's got a nice light coverage, maybe under medium coverage, but I wouldn't call it like medium. So this is the Wet n Wild. Now we're going to do the L'Oreal on the other side. And I will go into natural. Well, I have an overcast again. It's actually raining today. So you can see how it looks like in natural light. L'Oreal is going to go on my left side. The L'Oreal Tinted Moisturizer definitely has a more like watery fluid texture. It's definitely more of like a gel water texture. Because when you go to it, like apply it with your fingers, it feels like you're touching water, which I think is really cool. Same thing with the L'Oreal. I would say it's a light coverage. Like, I can put on a little bit more on my cheek. My cheek's a little bit red. And the reason I'm saying it's more of a light coverage is because I know this color compared to the other one is like, this is the L'Oreal and this is the Wet n Wild. It's darker, but my skin doesn't look funny actually. I thought it was going to look a little uneven, but it's not terrible. And it blends really nice. I have a little bit of redness here. It's doing a good job of sort of like evening it out. And I'm going to take some right under here. So the L'Oreal comes, I forgot how many shades. It's definitely like 15 shades minimum, but I remember because I got it at Target and I remember seeing like the display and it was like 2 rows and it was from like light to very dark. But the light shades, they didn't have that many light shades, which is interesting. And even though I have the shade Light 01 in the L'Oreal, it's very yellow. Even though it's light, it's definitely more of a light medium color. I don't remember if they had like fair. I'm sure they had fair if they had anything lighter than fair, but the color range was very impressive. Now with the Wet n Wild, you have 7 shades, I think, or 5, somewhere between 5 and 7. The thing that's good about this is that it's kind of sheer, so you can kind of get away with it, but still, it drives me crazy when they don't have shades that have more of like a yellow undertone or neutral. When they start to lean more pink, that doesn't help me. So both look really nice. Let me add just a little bit more of the Wet n Wild, and then we're gonna go into natural light so you can see the finish. To me, the finish looks like identical. Like, if I'm looking, it looks identical to me. I would say maybe the L'Oreal is a little more dewy. All right, let's go into nice natural light and you'll be able to see it. Okay, so I have myself in front of a window. Again, it's raining, there's an overcast, so this is the best lighting we're gonna get. But I'm gonna show you So I'm going to get in a little bit closer. This is the Wet n Wild. There's a glow. It's really pretty. I did not use the, what is it, the glass primer underneath it. If I were to use that, it would definitely like up it a notch, but I wanted to give it a fair like comparison to the L'Oreal. Like the L'Oreal to me is just slightly more dewy. It sits on the skin really nice. It's not emphasizing anything. It's not like highlighting like texture. It's not highlighting any fine lines or anything. So again, I'm just gonna pull away just so I could see also. But yeah, both look really great. I'm not seeing that much of a huge like difference or anything. So I just wanted to show you guys like in natural light, kind of if you could see a little bit of the difference. Again, both overall, the coverage is light. So if you don't have your exact shade, you can kind of get away with, you know, if you pick up a shade that's close to your shade, because it's more sheer light, you can get away with it. Now, again, as I said a couple seconds ago, I definitely think that the L'Oreal one is just slightly more dewy. Both are really nice. Both will make your skin look really hydrated. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing, I can't say anything bad about them. And they're not like settling funny in my lines here or anything like that. So it's really going to go with, do you want something a little more dewy? If you do, L'Oreal's your winner. If you want something that's still kind of dewy and like makes your skin look really hydrated, Tinted Hydrator is a great one to try out. Again, really the only difference is the price point. I believe this was around $10. This is like $6. So, you know, you get more bang for your buck, I guess, with this one than this one. But they're both really nice. I mean, I love the smell of this one. If you don't like scented stuff, you're not going to be crazy about it. This one has a lighter scent to it. But, I mean, I like it. I like them both. I'll kind of alternate between them. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. I did find both of these at Target. I'm sure you can find them on, Ulta. You can find them at Target. I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. If it's on Amazon, I will link it down below. You're more than welcome to go through my Amazon storefront. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on these two. Let me know, which one do you like more? Do you have one? Are you thinking about trying one? And if you were thinking about trying one, which one were you going to get? Comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!